Hi guys, this is not my normal video. This is not the content that I usually make on this channel, but I just did not feel comfortable making a video about what I eat in a day or just some other nonsense that does not matter when the state of the United States is in shambles and there are racial tensions happening right now. I am tired. My energy is low. I could barely get out of bed today. I've been watching these last 3 days what has been going on the news, and the first and second day I was so angry, I was so upset. But by this third day, I am just tired. I'm tired. So I'm not going to be yelling, I'm not going to be raising my voice, I'm just going to be explaining. Because this video is for the people who don't get it. And this video is for the people that don't respond to people yelling at them. I'm making this video for the people who have the power to make that change and try to get them to understand what the problem is. This is for the young people who don't see that maybe they're benefiting from a system that they don't yet fully understand the scope of because they have the privilege to not do so. This video is for me. This video is for George. This video is for every person who has experienced racism. And this video is for the future of this country. We all know what happened. George Floyd was murdered by a police officer. Plain and simple, that's it. He was murdered by a police officer, someone who is sworn to protect the citizens of the county or state or region or town that they operate in. Sadly, he did not see that protection. Instead, he experienced the racism and hatred of one man who decided to exercise his power over another man. It doesn't matter what George Floyd did. It doesn't. Violent crime or non-violent crime, it does not matter what he did. He was already in handcuffs. He was already detained. He was not resisting. He was on the ground for 9 minutes. Thankfully, I have not seen anybody who says that they think that that was justified or right. But if you do think that, I just need to let you know that it is not. It's not right. He was already detained. He was already in police custody. And that is a fact. And that is that. And that is all I'm going to say on that. It was a murder. We all saw a murder happen live on TV, on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook, on YouTube. We all saw a murder. There has been a lot going on social media about this. The protests are happening everywhere across the country. So many cities are protesting. I have a lot of thoughts on the protests that have been happening. There have been many peaceful protests by Black people over many, many years. At the beginning, where the civil rights movement happened in the 50s and 60s, up until now, many, dozens, hundreds of peaceful protests. But every time there's a peaceful protest, nothing gets done. Nothing. Not a thing. I was watching a YouTube video a couple days before all of this started happening. It's a very popular viral YouTube video, which was posted 4 years ago. It's a debate about high schoolers talking about the use of the Confederate flag. And in that video, there are many white students who are saying it's fine and it's not a symbol of racism. But in the next video that was posted by those same group of students, they were also debating the peaceful protest of Colin Kaepernick. Now, those same students who decided to say that flying the Confederate flag is not a sign of racism also had the opinion that what Colin Kaepernick was doing, kneeling during the national anthem of a football game, was inappropriate and too much, and that it could have been done in a better way. Colin Kaepernick was peacefully protesting, and as a result, he lost his job, he was blacklisted, people hated this man. But also many other people who hold that same opinion have said, why can't there be a better way to peacefully protest? But I ask you, what is that better way? We've had marches, nothing gets done. A man with millions of followers and a huge platform decides to use it positively, and he gets destroyed for it. That's not the right way either. So my question to you is, what is the right way? Colin Kaepernick donated so much money during that time, but it didn't get the press that it deserved, so it would have been swept under the rug had he not done what he did. So I ask you, what is the right way to protest? Because now that we see rioting and looting happening, that's not the right way to protest. And all of you like to throw MLK and say that he was the most peaceful protester. And there's a meme going around on Instagram talking about how on Bloody Sunday, Martin Luther King is walking down with his crowd of peaceful protesters, but a lot of people don't like to remember what happened after that photo was taken. The police broke up that protest, arrested people, beat people, and that was a peaceful protest. Which brings me to now what's happening. It's a peaceful protest. And if you took the time to go on Twitter or Instagram and see the videos and live streams of the people who are really at the protest, you will see that a majority, if not all, of the violence that is started is by the police. People are peacefully protesting and they are throwing tear gas at them. People are peacefully protesting and they're getting shot with rubber bullets. We saw a CNN reporter get arrested live on television. He was a black man. He was a person of color. He was reporting on the news and he got arrested. So my question is, what is the right way? To all the people who are upset about the Target getting looted, to all the people who are upset about the AutoZone getting burned down, this is what I have to say. First, the police are inciting a majority of this violence. We all found out that the first fire started at the AutoZone in Minneapolis was by a police officer who was exposed by his ex-wife. So you're telling me that the peaceful protest was co-opted by the police to make it seem like the movement was violent in order to reduce their message and their reach? That's what it seems like to me. And you're telling me that you are more concerned with items being stolen from a Target when that Target did not want to help these protesters? You're more concerned with items being stolen from a corporation that will recover, whose loss is minimal, if not non-existent completely? A multi-million, billion-dollar company got a few items stolen. I will go on record saying I'm not upset about the looting. I'm not upset about it. You know why? Because you guys like to throw MLK and his words at us about peaceful protest. And he said, rioting is the language of the unheard. And he did not endorse rioting. But after years and years of you telling black people that we need to wait, we need to protest peacefully, and then this is the result. The result is no cops getting indicted. The result is not a single police officer getting charged in any murder, not a police officer even getting investigated. A police officer gets paid leave. A police officer gets no time off and they come back the next day. And we're supposed to just sit there again and do what? We're supposed to sit there and peacefully protest like Colin Kaepernick did, and then we lose our jobs? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. To all the people who are upset about the looting, I saw this tweet on Twitter. Wow, people are upset about the looting? Imagine when they find out about the murder. Stealing is a crime, but murder is also a crime. And I guarantee you that if this racist action was not taken by this police officer, this would not be happening right now in this moment. If there were no racist police officers and this continued system of oppression did not exist, no one would be rioting because there would be no need. No one would be stealing from large corporations because there would be no need. This is a reaction. No one's stealing because black people are thugs, like the president said. A lot of the people that have a problem with this rioting and stealing are also the people who are large proponents of the American Revolution. The American Revolution was a battle over taxes because people were unfairly being treated by a government that did not care about them. And we look back and we read back on the American Revolution like it was the best thing that happened to America. But it was a war. People lost their lives. And we look back on the people who were not on the side of America and we say, wow, how can you not see this oppression? How can you defend people who are oppressing you? So I ask you the same question. How are you on the side of the oppressor?
It is because you are benefiting from the oppression that others have to endure.
I choose to be on the side of history that allows people to be free. And I think that that would be better for you. This was a racially motivated killing based on the systematic oppression of black people in America and the prejudices that people hold outright or not. A few weeks ago, there was a protest where a large group of Republicans, white people, Trump supporters, went to a government building demanding that they be let out of lockdown. This group got extremely close to the police, spitting on them, yelling at them. These protesters had weapons, had rifles with them. These white protesters had weapons and rifles with them as they were peacefully protesting at the police. What happened? Not a thing. Not one single thing happened. They didn't go to jail. No one got arrested. No one got shot. There was no tear gas. There were no rubber bullets. Not a thing. Why were these people with guns facing the police not dispersed? But how come a group of people come together peacefully with no weapons are tear gassed and shot at with rubber bullets? What is the discrepancy? If you had no recollection of what these situations were about, and I said that there was a protest that was peaceful with signage, and then I told you there was a protest with people who had weapons, what do you think the reaction to the police would be if you had no idea? You would probably say that the peaceful protest remained peaceful and continued on and there was nothing to happen. Because why would there be if it was a peaceful protest? And you would say that the people who were protesting with weapons pointed at the police, well, that seems like a dangerous situation that the police should disperse or apprehend violently as their lives are directly in danger. What backwards world do we live in where the opposite happens? Why? What's the reason? You know what the reason is. I know what the reason is. It's because they're white, and it's because we're black. And that is the end of that. There is no other reason that anyone can point a weapon at a police officer and they don't do anything. To the people that I know, or that anyone knows that is staying silent during this, I see you, I know who you are. To the people who profit off of Black culture, are constantly in the business of Black people, want to be them, act like them, wear their hairstyle, but then say nothing about the Black Lives Matter movement. I see you and I know you. To the people who are tweeting, showing their true colors, saying, don't give people a reason to be racist, like Tony Lopez said on Twitter yesterday or a couple days ago. Let me get one thing clear. Respectability politics is a tool for white supremacists. The idea of not giving someone a reason to be racist, there is never a reason to be racist. Not ever. Never. Never. People hold prejudices against groups of people that they feel they are superior to. So they are going to hold a certain group above. That might be a group of color that's closer to a lighter skin tone, aka in this particular sense, in this particular case of Americans, it's Asian people. And they say, why can't you be more like them? We don't need to be more like them. Nobody needs to be more like a white person to gain their respect. No one needs to bow to what a white person says is the right way to act. We don't need to turn minorities against each other. There's no reason to be racist. None. Ever. Not ever. And for all of you people saying thoughts and prayers, I don't care. I don't care about your thoughts and prayers. I don't care about how you're so heartbroken. I don't care. To me, it doesn't matter. Not even a little. Open your wallet. Sign a petition. Go to a protest. Show that you really care. And finally, to the people who are saying all lives matter, no, they don't. The Black Lives Matter movement was started to tell everyone that Black Lives Matter too. But a lot of people who are using the tagline, all lives matter, make it seem as though the intention of the Black Lives Matter movement was to say that only Black Lives Matter, which is the exact opposite. Let me explain it in the same way that a kindergarten teacher would explain it to a student. There are two kids in this story, one named Tom and one named Jim. Tom has a paper cut, so he runs to the teacher. He asks the teacher for a Band-Aid. He's bleeding, he's injured. The teacher says, okay. Jim comes up behind Tom and says, I want a Band-Aid too. And the teacher said, I'm sorry, Jim, but this is the last Band-Aid and Tom needs it more. And Jim says, but I want the Band-Aid. And the teacher says again, but Tom needs the Band-Aid. He's bleeding, he is hurt, and so we are going to take care of him. And if you get a paper cut, we will take care of you. It's not that we don't care about Jim. It's just that Tom is the one who requires the most attention. And that is the purpose of the Black Lives Matter movement. Don't get it twisted. We are not saying that only Black Lives Matter. We are saying that Black Lives Matter too. I know that I didn't get all of my thoughts out in this video, and I know that there is so much more that I want to say and could say. But at this point, I am so tired, my brain is so fried that I can't even continue right now. Please, if you have any questions, if you don't understand something, if you think that something you're doing is not right and you just don't get it, leave a comment down below and I will do my best to explain it to you. I don't have all the answers and I'm not going to pretend like I do, but I will link you a source that will tell you the correct answer if I can't answer it adequately myself, because I want to help the people who use microaggressions and don't realize it, who participate in the white supremacist system and don't understand why it's a problem, or you can't fathom that certain people live a certain way. Please be respectful in the comments, because I will not tolerate anything less. Like I said, there's so much I want to say in this video. I could make this video for hours and hours, but I have to end it somewhere. And I just didn't feel right making a stupid video about nothing today. I could barely get out of bed today. I just want to share with you that there is so much change and so much reform that needs to be done. And I wish that I could talk to some of these people personally, some of these young people personally that don't understand why certain things are a problem. And so this is my first attempt. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you another time.